Hey everybody, good morning. It's Carpo here. I can finally sit down again, so maybe I'll make a video here. I've been fighting this pain, so doing much better. Acupuncture helped, and um, a little bit of, I don't know, cautious sleeping, I guess. Cautious lifting. I just can't overdo it anymore. Anyway, it's nice to have a state of mind back. I realize when I'm in pain how my mind is affected as far as my mood, how much tolerance I have for people and family and screaming kids. And I do pretty well with it. Overall, I mean, I can be in excruciating pain and just let things ride because I know that people let things get in the way of their moods, especially pain. And it's not just physical pain, it's mental anguish that's caused by life, which causes us to act grumpy too. And I've been really considering this lately. I made a video a while back and it was entitled basically, "What are you waiting for?" or something like that, waiting for the big thing to happen. It was months ago. But I kind of wanted to do another one like that because I've separated myself from the folks out there who are waiting for the end of the world. I used to be very involved in that segment of YouTube and the internet, where I was constantly scanning for the next big thing that was going to happen. And I found that by doing that, I merely ran into way too much speculation and not enough real evidence. I remember last year, actually the year before, I believe, with Comet Ison. And I remember thinking the whole time, this comet's just going to probably just fade away in people's minds. But until then, people are going to say it's the end of the world. People said it's the Kuchina, it's the Blue Star, the Hopi prophecy. People said it was the second coming. A lot of people said it was an alien ship. And then a lot of people believed that Ison was going to be like brighter than the sun, and that it was going to just, cook our planet. People had all these crazy theories and ideas about it. I haven't looked at Ison lately. The last time I looked into it, I believe it had, as it was swinging towards the sun. I'm not sure if it's completely gone now or what the deal is, but the thing is, it's faded out of people's direct minds because there's no more real speculation they can do on it, so they've moved on to the next thing. And I've really seen a pattern here with people that they grab onto something as long as they can, say this is it, this is the end, and then they move to the next thing. And looking back through history, you'll see that people have been doing this from the beginning of history. It's at least written history. It was always something was coming around the corner. And for the alien believers, then the UFOs are gonna land, and that they have us as their experiments, or that we're crossed with their DNA, and that they're going to return one day, or that they've been watching us for millions of years, or I've heard people say that the extraterrestrials came to our planet thousands of years ago, altered the DNA of mankind, and then they've been waiting all this time for us to terraform the land because they need more greenhouse gases to live in. Now, these ideas are totally ridiculous in my mind. I'm not going to say they're not true, but I mean, to think that an alien race would wait for thousands of years for us to destroy ourselves so they could take over the planet, to me sounds more like, so why wouldn't somebody with an advanced race like that just wipe us out and start fresh, pump out a bunch of gas into the atmosphere and get it done quick? And it goes back to the old stories about how they were mining gold on this planet so they could take it back to their own, and Sitchin's ideas about, how they sprayed gold in their atmosphere, and all these ideas are great. They're fun to play with. But I've seen really no absolute real evidence for a Planet X, or for a group of these people mining gold for these purposes. Some of the evidence that they've showed on shows like Ancient Aliens are totally bunk. I mean, they said that they've cleared tops of mountains, completely cut them off, in order to mine the gold out, which doesn't make sense at all to anyone who knows anything about mining, but they're plateaus. They couldn't understand why the tops of the mountains were flat and they're plateaus. It's just misinformation. So anyway, not to get too far off track, but, I'm not doubting everything, but I'm doubting everything. It's that kind of thing. I really have to keep an open mind. because I see how people wish for something to happen. They're just waiting for something shitty to happen so life can go on a different path. And that's how I see it. And I could be totally wrong. A lot of people have their own views. Some people believe we need to be punished, or that we should be wiped off, that we're a scourge. But I think that most people who believe something's coming, something big's coming, are just waiting for a change. Something to change our internal world from the external, so we don't have to make the effort. People say that we will all love one another one day. It's not going to just be an external force that's going to make us love one another. This is going to be something we have to do on our own. And I don't mean to knock people who are into this type of research, you know, because, and I'm not talking about the idea that we might destroy ourselves with weapons, or that we might contaminate our environment, which we already are, but now these things need to be tackled, and these are ways that we probably will destroy ourselves. I'm talking about the external force that is the comet slash asteroid slash cosmic explosion slash cosmic wave or energy wave that's going to go through the universe and who's going to change our minds. You know, I once did research on the galactic wave theory to see exactly what they thought. Basically, that this galactic wave of energy sweeps through the universe on a regular heartbeat and a pulse. I made a long video about it, and I drew this big diagram and everything. I was really into it. And I believe that that's still a possibility, but the belief that that wave is going to come through and change our minds, to me, is a ludicrous idea now. Because I understand that this whole idea of peace and love and happiness everywhere on Earth is a pipe dream. It just doesn't work that way. Humans are not meant to be in conflict, but humans are meant to have conflict, because without conflict comes no resolution. Without resolution come no understandings toward a future, a better future. Conflicts are what bring us closer and look back in history to see the mistakes we've made. Without making mistakes, we're not human. Without being human, we have no point in being here. So, for those who are waiting for some major event or catastrophe, I'm with you. I understand, and I know where I know where you're coming from, and I do believe that in time something big is going to go down. But if we spend our lives trying to label what that if will be, and I'll tell you something, there's a lot of scientists out there who try to guess, estimate what's going to happen. That way, when it does happen, they can say, "Ha, I told you all." Well, if any one of these things that people think are going to happen really happen, nobody's going to be telling anybody I told you so. Nobody's going to care where they heard it. People are just going to go on their life. So there's no real status to attain by claiming these things are going to happen. My thought is that an EMP or a solar flare, some sort of an event, will wipe out the grid. It will cause mass panic, and we won't be able to get the grid back up. And, you know, people are afraid of a lot of things. But I'd be most afraid of losing our power, because we rely on it way too much. You know, we could spend, I think, $1 per person, or was it, you know, maybe $10 per person in the U.S., and we could totally reinforce our power grid to where we wouldn't have to worry about, you know, EMPs or solar flares, or we could have a redundancy program in place where we could actually shut them down before a major event. But the government doesn't want to spend that kind of money. We got too many wars to fight. So all I'm saying is that there are real issues to tackle, and it's not my place to tell other people what isn't an issue, because I don't know. But worrying about a comet destroying our planet is not really in the cards for me. The universe has a way. The Earth has been here for billions of years, and it's done pretty well. And to think that today is going to be the day that it all ends is kind of arrogant, you know. I think we just want something to happen because we're sick of what's going on, and I'm totally in agreement on that. So, namaste.